Cafe anyway. Here we are. It's Mike. What's the episode today, Mike? That's a good question.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It is 2514. The show is called
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton. This is a great show. It's daily, and my name is unbelievable. It's Mike. Yes, that's right. Everybody's named Mike. That's right, out of sight. You know what? Instead of this being a daily podcast, this should be an hourly podcast.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
There are hourly podcasts. Fox does one. CBS does one.
Mike's
NPR does one.
Daily
A podcast. Not to be confused with a YouTube video or a vlog. That's different. Everybody's got to stop thinking of vlogs as podcasts. They are not. And blogs are not podcasts either. This guy I know, he's a little bit older than me. And he goes, Mike, how's your blog doing? Okay, no, this is a podcast. And every time I see him, I gotta re-explain myself. But yes, I do have a kind of blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com, which A-Frame tells you about at the end of every show, that you can check out at MikesDailyPodcast.com. But this is a podcast. Thus the name, Mike's Daily Podcast. Not Mike's Hourly Podcast. Not Mike's Annual Podcast. Although that would be really much easier to do. Although there would be a lot of pressure all year long. What am I going to do for that one podcast I do every year? And there'd be a lot of worry. I hope it's a good one. Kind of like what the people must feel that put on the Academy Awards. Oh, what are we going to do this year? Oh, we're going to do something that's going to be really awful. Because I can't stand watching Academy Awards shows anymore. I can't. I have to stop.
And here's today's podcast picture.
I stopped quite a while ago, but the podcast picture has nothing to do with the Academy Awards. In fact, it is of a beautiful, beautiful spot in the mountains above Castle Lake. You can see Mount Shasta off in the distance. And what do they call that? The Devil's Post Pile? No, wait, that's somewhere else. There's the brick. See, this was a month ago, and I've already forgotten the name of the place. But it's some kind of other thing. Yes, the late great Basil the Boxer. I think he actually he may have even seen this spot. Because he did go up there around Christmas time. Wow, like four years ago, I think it was. But it's a beautiful spot. I think I'm going to look it up at some point. So we went on this really difficult hike. I thought it was difficult. My lovely lady friend just flew up it. And then I got this awesome picture of her at the end where she was hanging out with her feet cooling off in the lake, Castle Lake. And this St. Bernard comes up to us. It was so awesome. And I think in the past 8 years, I've seen maybe 2 St. Bernards, and this was the other one. I saw another one over there at Point Isabel. So there's Mount Shasta, and the place next to it is, nope, I don't see it. But you can see it. Oh, Black Butte. There it is, Black Butte. I forgot the name. Thank you, Google Maps. Black Butte. Or so you can kind of see that off in the distance, and then that's Oregon way off in the distance. Oh, what a wonderful trip. But that's not the important thing. The important thing now is Kanye West. When it all falls down, how Kanye West got canceled. Why is everyone so worried about being canceled? Maybe being canceled is a badge of honor. Hey, I got canceled. Good for you. That means that idiots don't like you. That's about it. No, not all the time. There's smart people that cancel too, but this cancel culture is ridiculous because it's all web based. It's all on the internet, and all you got to do is pull the plug on all internets, and that goes away. Oh, I just made a bunch of people really nervous. What? Take the internet away? What? No! What am I going to do for my entire day? Cafe anyway. I don't know. But the fallout for Kanye West has been significant, but his problems stem back to the start of this month. Kanye West closing his Donda Academy has left the program's student athletes in limbo. An especially frustrating situation for the kids who have real prospects to play college. This from TMZ.com. It's shutting down because faculty is fed up with his hateful comments, and so are some parents and students. In a bizarre twist, Kanye West Donda Academy has opened its doors again only hours after announcing the school had closed, and this time it's back with a vengeance. So is it closed or is it not closed? I don't know. Well, Kanye West is making a quick move to find a new home for his Yeezy shoes, hitting Skechers headquarters to talk with the company's honchos, but he immediately got turned away. Then TJ Maxx was the company that condemned Kanye West's anti-Semitic comments by cutting ties with his Yeezy brand. He lost a fortune as a result of Adidas pulling the plug, not to mention the other partnerships that have dissolved. And there you go. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's not the type of speech I should get behind. Hateful speech is always bad. Let's be friends, not enemies. But speaking of YouTube, YouTube's richest man. Yes, who is it? Mr. Beast. What? As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro, Valentino, the last place on earth. Oh, yeah, I think I've seen this guy. I don't watch him, but like young people I know watch him. He is seeking a $1.5 billion valuation in what could be a massive milestone for an influencer-led business. Let's see. If he's successful, they would be the first influencer-led business to reach such a valuation. This according to Fortune.com or Fortune Magazine. Let's see. His real name is Jimmy Donaldson. He has a huge subscriber count of 107 million. I guess that's what you need to be in order to make money off of YouTube. And earns the most money out of all influencers. Forbes estimates that he earns $54 million per year for his content alone. He also has a brand that includes food delivery, physical restaurants for his burger chain, and a snack brand called Feastables. And he's got a show in the works at Netflix. Feastables has made over $10 million in revenue in its first months. He wants to raise $150 million in a funding round for his YouTube channels and various other businesses. Wow. It would be the first institutional investment into Mr. Beast's overall portfolio. Not the best name if you're someone that reads the Bible. Not the best name. There's somebody there behind a pulpit saying, look, I told you, it said in the Bible there would be someone called the Beast coming along. Oh, but this guy's named Mr. Beast. It's not the same thing. That's pretty close. His company owns the company that manages Mr. Beast, called Night Media, has raised $100 million and teamed up with the Chernin Group to form Night Capital, which aims to boost creators by having them sell retail products to their communities. Fortune.com wrote this story. I don't know. Beware of YouTube influencers like that. That's a little... YouTube is all about... I believe in giving views to underdogs, not these huge megaliths, the people, megaliths. I want to be 14 again and ruin my life differently. I have new ideas. If a cookie falls on the floor and you pick it up, that's a squat, right? I don't let my age define me, but the side effects are getting hard to ignore. We keep a potato smasher in a drawer because sometimes it's fun to not be able to open that drawer. Do you ever feel like your body's check engine light has been on and you're still driving it like, nah, it'll be fine? And one more. It turns out that when asked who your favorite child is, you're supposed to pick one of your own. I know that now. These all from Winky, who was a friend of my mom's. My mom who passed away in February. Thinking about her a lot today. But Winky was a friend of hers. Used to send her emails. I got in touch with her and told her about my mom. She was very sad. And then she started sending me emails. So thank you, Winky. Thank you. Wow. So much to get to today outside of Cafe 80 somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth. Look who's here. Hi, Mark. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? Here's my horse today.
That's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
I'm a YouTube influencer. I influence people not to watch it, tell you what.
What?
That's my little contribution to society.
Excellent. Hey, do either of you want to help out on Saturdays? I need a producer that can help produce a live show. Because the guy who's producing it now, he's making hints that he's going to be leaving soon. And I need to train somebody like Stat.
No, that's okay, Doc.
Dang it. Look who else is here.
Hello, Mike. I make delicious root beer. How's to my now?
How about you? Do you want to produce this show?
I don't want to produce your show, Mike Matthews. Drink my root beer, I'll kill you.
All right. No. Well, that's good. No, not this show, but the show that is on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Because, like, today I had to go in because the guy was out on vacation. And it's sort of difficult because I can't seem to find anybody to produce the show. Oh, the Brewmaster walked away. Dang it. Now, well, you can call me 336MM Daily. 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM is the Mike Matthews Daily, isn't what this podcast is, if you're interested in that. But it is time now for the segment, Let's Go Back with Matthews. Back to another time. You might be going, Mike, was there ever a simpler time? Oh, yes, there was. Even though we think of it now as a simpler time, it was just as complicated as this time. Because humans tend to always complicate things, no matter how simple they really are. I mean, it's going to be, this time here you and I are experiencing is probably going to be much simpler and grammatically be better to somebody in the future. But we'll see. All right, so way back when, yours truly, I did this thing called, it was on the radio. It was a country show, a request show. Hey, and if you're listening now to this and you remember listening to the Santa Fe Cafe, could you give me a call at 336MM Daily? That's 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM is a Mike Matthews Daily, isn't what this podcast is. It would be great to hear from you and hear about those old days in the late 90s and the early O's. So we're going to go back in time to one particular moment when I did this program. And let me cue it up. I'm queuing it up, everybody. I'm going to cue this here up for you to hear back when, in the early O's, yours truly was doing this. And here we go. I'm doing this on the fly. It's almost like live radio, but here we go.
Cafe, you've arrived! Like this K-Hey Cafe caller!
Don't, your heart's not in it, don't kiss me. Sound familiar at all?
If your heart's not in it, don't waste my time. Is it called Don't Waste My Time heard in the song?
Yeah.
Then that is the new...
Actually, I think she's talking about Shania Twain, Mike.
That's it.
It's actually 2 girls and 2 guys in this group.
Okay. What?
Oh, Little Big Town. They got popular later, didn't they? What was Little Big Town's big song? I don't remember. Boondocks. That's it.
Having a great time. We'd like you to join us at 650 KHEY, the KHEY Santa Fe Cafe, and Shania Twain on the way. Also, Martina McBride, Alan Jackson, and we are going to hear from George Strait. It is Phil Vassar, That's When I Love You, on the way next on this grad night at the cafe. And it's almost 10:30. That means the Country Quiz at 10:30 and 11:30, Monday through Friday. It's the KHEY Country Quiz.
Grad night. You know, at my grad night, they did these Disneyland grad nights in Southern California, and so my school got a bus. I guess we got discounts into going into Disneyland in the evening on a particular day after we graduated from high school, and the senior class was the only ones invited, and we had to get up really early, get on the bus, go down. And then there was grad night, and you know who performed at my grad night was Mr. Mister and Miami Sound Machine. That's right. And who else? Climax Blues Band was also there. Or no, there was a band just called Climax. Anyway, that was my grad night. All right, let's go to a different part of this here.
Before that, Kenny Chesney coming up, Sarah Evans on the way next. We'll get Tim McGraw, Alan Jackson, Brooks and Dunn, the new one from Toby Keith called The Angry American, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.
Oh my gosh, that song got Toby into some trouble. Well, it angered the Dixie Chicks, who didn't really like it, that song. And then there was sort of a tiff between the two of them. Now the Dixie Chicks are just the Chicks. And I hope Toby's doing good. He had some health issues.
That's on the way, too. And more chances for you to win. You and I are going into the kitchen of the KHEY Santa Fe Cafe to see what the chef is cooking on this grad night, whether it be food or a new part in a movie.
Matt Michaels, as you know, I'm quite a popular sex symbol amongst the ladies.
Okay.
Aw, Sean Connery. He's gone. All right, shall we listen to one more thing? One more thing here from way back in the O's-ish time frame. And Santa Fe. Let's see.
That is the new one from Garth Brooks and Thicker Than Blood. It's 100.7 KHEY, the one station to tune to for weekend fun. And we got Jody Messina coming up, Gary Allen, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Lone Star, Dixie Chicks on the way next.
By the way, I interviewed one of the members of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and there's the interview. This was somewhat within the past 10 years, I think. That interview with John McEwen and his son, and his other son, Nathan. One's John, one's Nathan, John Jr. You can hear that interview at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Just go to the interview section. That Garth Brooks song, Thicker Than Blood, was excellent. That's too bad. It's not one of the ones he's remembered for. Everybody remembers Friends in Low Places and The Thunder Rolls, but they don't really remember Thicker Than Blood. That was a good song.
Cafe today.
And a visit to the 9 o'clock preview room.
It's the KHEY Santa Fe Cafe with Matt Michaels.
Oh my God!
100.7 KHEY with KHEY's Matt Michaels.
You're good being on your toes.
On my toes? Mm-hmm. I'm actually sitting on my butt.
Yeah, I know, but...
I should stand up. Here, let me stand up.
Okay.
Oh, but now the microphone's down around my stomach area.
Good. Are you hungry?
Let's listen to my stomach. Nope, doesn't seem to be making any noise. It's quiet. I have probably one of the loudest stomachs on the planet.
Really?
I mean, I'll be standing, if the room gets too quiet, all of a sudden you'll hear this. I like my stomach. I'm like, shut up. Kelly Coffee when you lie next to me. George Strait, Love Without End, amen. Ahead of that. Travis Tritt is next, and the K-Hey Santa Fe Cafe. Next, the K-Hey Cafe question. What kind of mess do you hate cleaning up? It's another K-Hey Roadshow this weekend. Join K-Hey's Teresa Taylor Saturday 11 to 1 for the grand opening of the Creekside Village Center in Calabasas. There's going to be food, children's activities, huge giveaways at every store. Bring your K-Hey contest coin designed by Lynn's Jewelry. Look for the K-Hey Boot Scoot and Buggy and Teresa to win some great prizes. Creekside Center at Agoura Road in Las Virgenes in Calabasas, Saturday 11 to 1 with 100.7 KHAY. As you and I leave the K-Hey studio, walk out to the map bus.
Yeah, where to, Matt?
Felix, take us to the K-Hey Santa Fe.
If this thing goes less than 50 miles an hour, my bladder's gonna explode.
Cafe. Yeah.
Now, back to the lake.
It's so true. My stomach still does that. If the room is quiet, it goes. That's so true. That was like 20 years ago. And that truth remains.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
That song playing in the background, who was that? Oh, gosh, I am having a tough time remembering that. It was like a sample.
Right?
Of Sunshine Superman. But it was, let's see, what's Sunshine Superman, what? Imani Coppola! Imani Coppola. Oh, Legend of a Cowgirl was the name of that song. What happened to Imani Coppola? Does anyone know? Imani Coppola was wonderful. Gosh. I gotta look up Imani Coppola. Will you indulge me for a moment as I look up Imani Coppola? Oh, wow. Imani Francesca Coppola, born in 1978, is an American singer-songwriter and violinist. That's right. Her debut single was Legend of a Cowgirl. It reached the top 40 on the Billboard charts, and it was also on the UK singles chart. This was in 1997. Wow. So she was a little bit younger than 20 when she hit the charts. Her debut album, Chupacabra, was praised by critics and appeared on the U.S. Heat Seekers albums chart. In 2001, she appeared as a guest artist on the Baha Man single. Yes, the Baha Men, the Who Let the Dogs Out. They had a song called You All Dat. Apparently that was kind of a hit song in Australia. I guess it was a top 10 hit in Australia. She released several independently recorded albums in the early 2000s, as well as starring in the musical film The Singing Biologist, where she wrote the music for the movie. In 2007, she signed to a different label, and she released an album called The Black and White Album, that received favorable reviews from music critics and marked a comeback for Coppola. She formed the pop R&B duo Little Jackie, working with Adam Pallin. The debut single, The World Should Revolve Around Me, reached the top 40 in the United Kingdom and Ireland, and it was used for the VH1 reality TV series New York Goes to Hollywood. It peaked at number 90 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The duo's debut album, The Stoop, was released in 2008, but peaked outside the top 100 in the United Kingdom, and the duo were dropped from their record label. Coppola has released two more solo albums, one called The Glass Wall, and another called Hippocrates. And she has recorded two further albums as part of Little Jackie as well. Wow! Great! I'm glad that she's there and exists. Imani Coppola. All right, now it's time for the segment, the Mike Matthews New Tunes Feud. These two songs are going to duke it out. One of them is not from Imani Coppola, though. I did not get... Imani, if you're listening, please send me a new song that I can play on the Mike Matthews New Tunes Feud. But this song is by Casey Moon, and it's called Renting. There you go. That is Casey, Moon, and Renting. I can only play that much or I'll get dinged. I'm probably going to get dinged for the Imani Coppola song. And now, here is an artist by the name of Maggie Rogers. Today, Seattle, via NYC, newcomer Puck shares their second single, Trapped. Trapped is accompanied by an eerie video. Did I say... Oh, Puck is Maggie Rogers. Really? And SZA, keyboardist. What? Okay, I've heard of Maggie Rogers. Let's see what this is. I guess it's some kind of collaboration called Puck. All right, that is called Trapped, the name of that song. Which one did you like better? Casey, Moon, or Puck? Call me 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM is a Mike Matthews Daily, isn't what this podcast tries to be. Puck is known for their work as a keyboardist, touring with SZA, Maggie Rogers, and Dahuruv. They've been on The Tonight Show, the Coachella, the Grammys, and SNL. Interesting. Concocted as a salve, the album's hallucinogenic unfolding recounts the glory of first love and descent into domestic violence. The slippery camouflage of abuse, subsequent reckoning, and triumphant resolution to self, shapeshift from the piano. Puck's Pacific Northwest roots tangle with her mother's folk bootlegs and a jazz school education, all underpinned by the lyrics conjured in the potency of grief. There you go. Wow, these descriptions. Amazing. So expansive. And thank you for listening to this wonderful podcast today. I hope it was expansive for you. And you can always call me, 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM is the Mike Matthews Daily, as in what this podcast is. Oh, yeah, also call me, too, if you'd like that producer job, too. We're looking for somebody. And what's more, on how to reach me, it is A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!